Hey y'all, welcome back to Lantern Creek Farm.
Alright guys, this will be another video, but this morning you all canned these with me. It's afternoon now. It's right at 12:40. Andy will be in from work around 1 or 2. While I'm waiting on him to get in from work, I got a few house things done, but I want to get some peppers processed. I went out to the garden, and if you just see my last short there, I went out to the garden. What? I went out to the garden and, hold on, I've got to let the dog out. He's got to go potty. Alright, so before I was rudely interrupted by the dog, needing to go to the bathroom, I was telling you all, I just went out to the garden. Yesterday in the garden, we grabbed quite a few jalapenos. We've got some jalapenos out here in the garden. Actually, if you've seen the short, we've got jalapenos that are about this big. Well, about that long and about that wide. So much so that they were weighing the plant down on the ground. And so I want to get those processed. I'll probably do that a little bit later when we get back from the farm, and I'll show you how I string those up. But today is going to be a pepper processing day. I've got just a few bells in there that I need to get cut up, bell peppers that I need to get cut up and put into Ziploc bags to put in the freezer. We don't do nothing fancy with them. I'll show you how I cut them up and put them in the bags. For whatever reason, I've just got my gallon bags. I need some smaller bags, but right now I've just got my gallon bags, and so we're just going to put them in the gallon bags. I split them up into, I take my 1 cup scoop and do, I think it's 1 cup piece in each bag. So we'll get started. Alright, we got our bells laid out here. A couple of them have got some bad spots, so obviously we're not going to put them into the thing. I'm going to cut them up in small pieces. Got my knife, got my cutting board, got my bells. So let's get started. Alright, I got my first pepper cut up into pieces that I can chop it in. I've got my scrap bowl here and my bowl that I'm going to put my peppers in once I get them chopped up. So in years past, I've chopped them up into long pieces, and then some bags into long pieces and some bags into short pieces, but I found I need them more in small pieces than I do long pieces, and so I'm not going to waste my time chopping longer pieces. For whatever reason, I just make more stuff with the smaller pieces. I got stuck with a few bags of the longer pieces and let them thaw out, and then chop them into smaller pieces. So we're going to do what we use. If you put something back and you don't use it, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of space, and so you don't want to put something back you're not going to use. So I'm chopping these into just, bite-sized pieces. We put pepper and onion and about anything that you can put pepper and onion in. We love pepper and onion. So much so that we don't grow enough in the garden to put back all winter long, and so we have to buy pepper and onion from the store. Probably be a good idea, and I just thought of it. I don't know why I didn't think of it before, that I could buy maybe some peppers from a local farmer and put more back than what I can grow. But we just can't seem to grow enough pepper and onion in this house, so let's put some back. I got a good pile going here. I'm going to go ahead and continue to... Look at this pepper, y'all. That's big. It's about as big as my face. I mean, it's just missing like an inch. It's huge. So we're going to get these cut up. I forgot to mention as well, all of these peppers are clean. I didn't go ahead. I cleaned them before I put them here. Or before I even started cutting them. We'll get these peppers picked up, cut up. We'll get a good pile going. We'll put them in the bowl, and then we'll come back and show you how we put them in the bag. Like I said, it ain't nothing special, but show you how we do it. Alright guys, let's cut us up a couple peppers, not many. I still got 3 here, but we've got a little pile here, and so we're going to go ahead and pour these in. Give us a little room on the cutting board. Dropped a pepper on the floor. We'll throw that one out, but the rest of them's in the pot, and we'll continue cutting them up. Alright guys, this is our last pepper that I'm going to do. I've got this really big one, and I was going to cut it up, but I think I'm just going to keep it for fresh eating. That way we've got one to eat on. Right now I don't have one in the fridge for supper, for us to eat, you know, if we need it for supper or something. So I'm going to put it back in the fridge. Or put it in the fridge. It ain't really even been in the fridge because I just picked it out of the garden. And so we'll put it up so that we have one later. But we've got probably right at a quart or right below a quart of peppers here. And that'll give us a few bags, hopefully. So I'll get this little area cleaned up here, and then we'll get our bags ready and our cup ready, and we'll start dropping them in. Alrighty guys, we got our peppers here. We got our freezer bags here. We got our 1 cup measures here. Like I said, these are gallon bags. I don't have any smaller ones right now. I've just got the gallon bags. It's alright. So what we're going to do first is write the date. Today is July 27th. 2023, and I'm going to do a couple of these now, and then if we need more, we'll do more. I was blowing on it to dry them off, in case you were wondering. That way the ink didn't spread on the back of the bags. It's not that big of a deal, but okay, I think I'm going to do 4 bags off the top, and then we'll see if we need any more. Alright, so we got our tray here, just in case any spill. I just wiped off the countertop, so that'll keep us from making such a mess, if we even do make a mess. And I'm prone to making messes. So we're going to take a bowl here. Open our bag up, and I think I do 1 cup is what I typically do. Yeah, so I fill my scoop up, 1 cup, fill the bag up, and then we'll get a couple of them full, however many it takes to get it full, and get through the peppers, and then we'll put them in the freezer. I think we're definitely at least going to have 5 bags instead of 4. Yeah, I think we're going to have right at 5 bags. That's what we got left. So that ain't too bad. I don't know how many peppers that was. I'll have to go back and see. But we'll say 4 or 5 peppers made 5 bags and put up to have later. So this is a blessing. Now that we've got these all ready to go, I will show you all after a while. It won't be after a while for you all. It'll be after a while for me. But I'll show you how I hang my jalapeno peppers up, and we'll talk a little bit about what all I do with my jalapeno peppers. Alright guys, get my bags ready to go in the freezer. I want to try to get all the air out. Some people lay them flat and stuff. Probably would do that if I had smaller bags, but where they're so small, or where they're so big, what I'm going to do is get all the air out and then I'll just roll them up and put them in the freezer like this. That bottom one needs more air out of it. Roll them up, put them in the freezer like that, and they'll freeze good. And I do want to say, make sure you're putting your date on it. If you're putting multiple peppers up, but you're not doing them all on the same day, like I've got bags in there that was, you know, from 2 weeks ago, you want to use, obviously you want to use your ones that you put up first. That way you're, you know, you're moving through your stuff, and you know, you're not having a bag of peppers sitting in there for 2 years, or a long period of time, when you could have been using them from the beginning. Because the longer the stuff's in the freezer, everybody knows, the longer it's in the freezer, the more likely it is to get freezer burnt, or, you know, the nutritional value goes down too. So anywho, that's why we write the date on them. But we'll get these in the freezer, and we'll get this cleaned up, and then we'll come back after a while, and I'll show you how we do the peppers, the jalapeno peppers. Something I wanted to add as well, the cores and stuff of these peppers are not going to go to waste. I'll take them out to the farm today, Lord willing, and we will feed these to the chickens or the rabbits or whoever wants them. So they're not going to go to waste. Alright guys, we're back from the farm, and I got my canning stuff situated, and now we're going to move on to the peppers. I told you all that I would show you how I string these peppers up. I've got some that hang in front of the window here, and I'll talk to you a little bit about what I do with them after, what I do with the ones that I string up to dry. And so first, we've got our fishing line here. We've got our a thicker gauge needle. It'll show it. You want a thicker one because you're going to have to go through, you know, a pepper. And so we've got our scissors. And so I'll get my needle threaded, and then we'll start working on the peppers. Alright, I've got my needle threaded here. We want to tie a pretty good size knot down here on the bottom. Thicker gauge means bigger hole, obviously. So we want our peppers to stay on there. So we're going ahead and tying a good size knot down here at the bottom, or good size knot on the thing right here. But and then we'll tie a good size knot down here on the bottom, and I'll show you what we're going to do. I've got some of these larger peppers. We are not. This one's got a bad spot in it. I'm going to use these for eating peppers, and because these will make really good jalapeno poppers. But we've got some regular sized ones and some medium ones, and we are definitely going to string those up. So what I do is I leave the stems on, and right where this starts right here, right where it starts to bend there, is where I poke this through. And so you're going to pull your needle through. It'll come through here. Yep. Usually not this hard, guys, sorry. My hands are very weak, so I have carpal tunnel and different things wrong with my hands, and so they are very weak, and this is wet, so it's hard to get through. Okay. Hopefully all of them aren't that hard. And we're just going to continue to add on here. I'm going to use this to kind of push through. Maybe to give me a little boost. There we go. It's helping me out some. Sorry guys, I just have weak hands. Probably somebody that doesn't have weak hands, it wouldn't be too hard for. Or the average person, it wouldn't be. You wouldn't know it when I work on the farm and stuff, and you probably wouldn't know unless I told you and you see me do this, that small attacks like this are hard for my hands. So I don't do a lot of sewing. My husband does most of the patching and stuff. I used to be able to do it, but see, as you can tell, I just don't have much strength in my hands. So anyways, we're going to go through and we're going to get these peppers stringed up. And while I'm doing this, we can talk a little bit about what's going on in the garden and stuff like this, stuff like that. I'd like to ask you all to leave a comment and let me know what you all got going on in your gardens, and if your gardens are kind of bolting like ours are. Our summer garden is pretty much done. We're, you know, moving more on to what I would call our fall garden, our later crops that we planted later on after we planted our first bed. I do want to add to the reason why I'm using fishing line instead of you know, like regular string that you would sew stuff up with, is because it's stronger. At first these peppers are going to be a little bit heavier, you know, than what they will be in the end when they dry out. And I'll show you, I've got a string hanging up and I'll show you. It's been hanging up for a couple years now. Well, I didn't string none up last year because we had these peppers hanging up. We've just got a few left. I've tangled that somehow. We'll untangle that. But we've just got a few of those peppers left from last year. But the string did have quite a few on it, and I'll show you after I get done talking and we get these strung up exactly what I did with the peppers. I talked a little bit on it I think in another video, but I'll show you kind of what I've got going on and what I do with those peppers. So I'll come back with you guys after we get a few more stringed up. I might do a couple strings and I'll show you what we got. Okay, so we've got our first line that I want to start with here, and what I'm going to do, well, how do I keep doing this? How do I keep managing to do that? Okay, so what we're going to do here is, first I'm going to untangle it again, and we're going to take the one end that has the needle on it and the other end, and we're going to tie them together here, and we're going to hang them like this. So you're going to take the one end and the other end, and go ahead and cut this off here. And I have like a coat rack, I guess is what you would call that. I hang my coffee mugs, so my decorative coffee mugs on it, along with the whatever I'm going to dry out. I've dried beans and jalapenos in the front of this window here. And what we're going to do is we're going to tie a knot. This is 4-pound test line, so I know it's going to be able to hold at least 4 pounds. You know, more than that. Typically when you're fishing, you can catch some bigger than that. It might just be a little struggle getting them in. But anyways, we're not fishing, we're hanging peppers. And the Lord's blessed us with some good sized jalapenos this year. Our smalls are, you know, like what I would consider medium sized, like that one. And then we've got our medium ones that are like large this year. But anyways, I tied a knot up here at the top, as you can see. There's our string. And then what I'm going to do is tie a loophole right here at the top again. Obviously it's a loophole, so we want to leave it open there. And we're going to hang it up here on the window. And I'll show you what we got going on. Alright guys, here's my window here. Here's my coat rack. I've got some of my favorite teapots up there. My vintage teapots. Look at that one. And it's so cute. And that is from Japan, and it's a little bowl. And that one is a teapot as well. Let me move this mason jar. There we go. Looks like we've got some seeds up there from a plant. And that is a teapot there. So, anyways, I've got this rack here. This coat rack. Here is my jalapeno peppers from the summer before last, the harvest before last. And as you can tell, some of them are brown, some of them are red. But they are wonderful in chili and soups that you want a little spice in. And I'll talk more on that in just a second. But let's hang up this string I did today. Alright, so we got Lakin manning the camera here. And what we're going to do is take this coffee cup off. And we're going to hang these up. Look how pretty that looks. Don't that just absolutely, can you see it, Lakin? Behind the cookie jar? Don't that just look so pretty? And I'll probably do maybe one, maybe two more strings of that just to fill that up. But we're going to put our coffee cup back on, and they'll dry out in front of the window. And I'll get you something real quick, and I'll show you what all I do with them. Like I said, if I'm making soup or something, I'll just throw that dry jalapeno in it. But there's something else that I do with them, and I'll show you in just a second. Alright guys, this is a store-bought jar here. And a couple years ago, like I said, I didn't dry any jalapenos last year, but we had some hot peppers from a year or two ago, and it was cayenne peppers, and I crushed up cayenne peppers here. And as you can see, I'll pour them out. You dry them out, and then you can just crush them up. I think I did it in just like a bag where they're dry, they're brittle, and you can crush them up, and you can have crushed red pepper. And so that's what I did. I put this in on pizza. I use it to season taco seasoning and stuff like that. When I make my taco seasoning, I mix that stuff in with it, and it is delicious. And it comes straight from your garden, so that's, you know, something that you know where it came from. And you just, I mean, if you're like me, I save glass jars, stuff like that. So you just crush them up and put them in your glass jars. And so we're going to move on here again. I'm going to retie a string to this needle, and we'll get a couple more strings hung up, and then we'll be done. Alright, we're going to start on our second string. Let's get this first one on here. I'm trying to find smaller ones now. I don't know if we'll get 3 strings. We might get 2 done, but y'all, when you do this, it won't be this hard if you've got decent grip on your hands. I don't want it to seem like it's hard, because it's really not. It's just me. It's just hard for me. So, anyways, it's definitely worth saving it, even though it is hard on me, on my hands. It's definitely worth saving. So, anyways, I'll show you all this a little bit more sped up, so you don't have to listen to me talk, and you can just watch the process. Alright guys, second string is done. Sorry, I've got it low where you can't really see. Second string is done, and I'm going to move on to a third string, and then I think that'll be good. You think it'll be good? Mm-hmm. Alright, as long as Lakin agrees. Alright guys, we're going to start on the third string here. These are the peppers I'm going to string up. I've put the rest of them back, the bigger ones back, that we're going to use maybe for jalapeno poppers or something like that. We're going to string the rest of these up. This is the last string. That'll make 3 strings, and that should do us probably for the next year or so. Probably last us about 2 years. But we'll eat them up and use them in different things. So let's get this started and stringed up, and then I'll show you how pretty it looks in the window. Alrighty guys, this is the last string of peppers. I've got our little loop up here at the top, if you can see it. Can you see it? Got our little loop at the top, and we'll hang these up, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright guys, we got them hung up here. Don't they just look so pretty? I appreciate y'all watching as we showed you how we process a few of our, the different types of ways, how I process the peppers, how we cut up those bells, and how we hung these. I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate you all hanging out with us and just showing up like you all do and watching videos. And I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. And I hope that you all will continue to come back and like our videos and comment on them like you have. So anyways, before I ramble on too much, I want to thank you all for watching. And I hope you all will come back and watch some more videos and hang out with us another time. So we'll see you later. Bye.